Hey guys, so today we're learning lesson 7.5, but before we start, I'm so sorry, I forgot to wish Jackson happy birthday on Monday, and Katie Lasky happy birthday on Wednesday, and Blake happy birthday today. So happy birthday guys, I hope you're having a great isolated birthday, but I just wanted to take some time to wish you all a happy birthday. I know this is a challenging time to have a birthday, so wanted to make sure you had special shout out here in math class at least. Today we're learning lesson 7.5. We're talking about surface area of prisms. You'll do the same thing, watch this video, take notes, submit your notes as a PDF on Schoology, and then take the homework check on Schoology as well. Again, hopefully you're getting in this routine. Mr. Chine and I will be available on the Schoology conference after this video if you have any questions. Lesson 7.5 is talking about surface area of prisms. So think about that word, surface area. You're finding the area of each surface of a prism. So if I have this prism here, this triangular prism, make sure that you can see it, right? Okay, so if we want to find the surface area of that, we're going to find the area of each surface and add it all together. So think if you're wrapping this in wrapping paper, how much wrapping paper would you need? If you want to find the surface, oops, it broke. If you want to find the surface area of this cube, you're going to find the area of each surface and then add it all together, and that would be your surface area. So we're going to talk about that today. Let's go ahead and get to it. All right, so lesson 7.5. Starts on page 311, and today's date is Blake's birthday, which is the 9th. Okay, so let's write down what surface area is. Surface area is the sum of the areas of all of its faces. The sum of the areas of all a solid's faces. The sum of the areas of all a solid's faces. Okay, so sum means addition. So you're adding all the areas of a solid's faces. We can break apart. Oh, this broke apart. We can break apart a three-dimensional figure into something called a net, and that can help us find the surface area. So if I start unraveling this, you'll see that I have those 6 faces that we talked about yesterday all here, and this is a net. This is what it would look like if it was unfolded, and we can use this to help us find the surface area. So let me show you also what that looks like in a triangular prism if I unfold a triangular prism. So here's a triangular prism. All right, so I can open it up, and this is what a net would look like for a triangular prism. If I opened it up and unfolded it, this is your net. So let's look at some problems to go through together. Ooh. Try and put it all back together. They're all sticking magnets. Okay. Let's look at a rectangular prism first of all. Oh, what a net is. Let's write down net. A net is the three-dimensional figure like laid out as two-dimensional representation. So a 2D representation of a solid. 2D representation of a solid. And that can help you find the surface area. Here's a rectangular prism. If this is 7 inches, the height here is 3 inches. And then this measurement here is 4 inches. Okay, we want to find the surface area of this rectangular prism. So we can draw a net and unfold it like we did with this one. Okay, we also can list the faces. So I'm going to do 2 different ways, and you can pick which way works best for you. 2 different ways. One way, let's talk about the net. Okay, so we're going to lay this out as the net. So I have a rectangle here, and I'm going to unfold it. So I have a side there, a side there, the front there, and then the top, and then the bottom. If you did not follow, I will show you another way, but this is one way that you can do it. Okay, I know that this would be 4 inches here. It would match. This is also the 4 inches. It matches. This is that 7 inches here, and that 7 inches here too. So then this all would be that 7 inches. This would be like this around here. And then this is that 3 inches here. Okay. So now you find the area of each face, 6 faces. And then you add it all up together to get the total surface area. So the area of this one here would be that 4 inches, because that matched up with this one when it was folded together. Those went together. So 4 inches and 7 inches, multiply that together is 28. This one too would be the 3 inches here and the 7 here, so 21. And then this again would be that 4 and that 7, so 28. This would be that 3, all of these are going to be 3 here, and 4 would give you 12. 3 and 4 would give you another 12, and 3 and 7 would give you a 21. So if you add 12 plus 21 plus 12 plus 21 plus 28 plus 28, that gives you 122. What are your units though? If we're finding surface area, if it's area, your inches are going to be squared. 122 inches squared. If you did not follow the net, it's okay. If you did, awesome. If you did not, I will show you another way that actually makes more sense to me as well if I do it this other way. So I'm going to work this other way in pink right next to it here. So I like writing out the different faces that I have. I have a top and I have a bottom. I have a front and a back and 2 sides, left side and a right side. Okay, and I know that I have every face because I know from last lesson how to count that I have 6 faces in this rectangular prism, and I have 6 faces listed out here. The top, I'm going to trace here, the top. What are the measurements of my top piece right here? Well, if this is 7, this is 7, this is 7, this is 7. So all of those are 7. So I have 7 and, what is this measurement? 4. So 7 and 4 is 21. No, sorry, 28. 7 times 4, 28. My bottom is also going to match. So 7 and 4 is 28. My front. Okay, so here I have a front. This right here. So now I have 7, and this, all of these up and down ones are 3. So 7 times 3 gives me 21. The front matches the back, so I have 7 and 3 matches 21. Now I have this left side over here. That left side is going to be 4. All of these are 4. So 4, and then all the tall ones are 3. So 4 and 3 gives me 12. 4 and 3 gives me 12. Now add all those up and I get 122 inches squared. So you can do it either way, draw out the nets. You just have to be really careful when you draw the nets that you match the right measurements. when you draw out those nets, here you can list out the faces. Either way, you'll probably see me do this way more. I think it's easier to keep track of all the measurements when you write it out like that. Okay, let's try another one. Let's find the surface area of this other rectangular prism. So another rectangular prism. If you want to try it on your own, you can pause the video and try it on your own once I give you the measurements. If you want to stay with me, then just keep playing, keep rolling, and play it with me, and let's do it together. Okay, 8 feet, 10 feet, 3.5 feet. Now another trick that might help is you can take a different color or highlighter and go over, you'll need 3 different colors, and go over those 3 measurements. So any line that's up and down is going to be 3.5. So I'm going to use green. Any line that's up and down is 3.5. All of those are 3.5. Now any line that's parallel to this 8 feet, I'll use pink, is going to be 8 feet. So here's 8 feet. This is 8 feet. This is 8 feet. And then that one back there is 8 feet. So all of those are 8 feet. And then anything that's left is 10 feet. I can use blue for that. So this would be 10 feet, 10 feet, 10 feet, and 10 feet. Yes, it kind of looks a little bit messy, but actually it's color coded. So then when you list your 6 sides, your 6 faces, you can just look at the colors and see what side that measurement is. Maybe even I want to circle that 8 is pink, 10 is blue, and 3.5 is green. So then if I get confused, I know my numbers at least match those colors too. Okay, so I have 6 faces. It's a rectangular prism. So I know that I have a top and a bottom. I have a front and a back. And I have a left side, and I have a right side. Okay. And I know that these 2 match, these 2 match, and these 2 match. So the top, trace it with my pencil. I have a pink and a blue, a pink and a blue. So area of that rectangle, base times height. Pink times blue is 80. The bottom, a pink times a blue. Good, it should match, 80. You can always check. The front, I have a green and a pink. Green and a pink. Green and pink would be 8 times 3.5. So 3.5 times 8. 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 3 is 24. Plus 4 is 28. And move my decimal over 1 time. So 28. If my front is 28, my back should also be 28. But let's just make sure. Pink and green, pink and green. So 8 times 3.5. Yes, that works. 28. Now my left side over here and my right side should match. I have a blue 10 and 3.5. 10 and 3.5. 3.5 times 10. If you know you're with multiplying by 10, just move your decimal over once and you should get 35. So right side, I should get the same thing. 10 times 3.5, 35. Now, I add all of that up. When I add it all up, I get 16, so plus 5, so 26. 2 plus 8 is 10, 20, 22, 25, 28, so 286, and then your units, feet squared. That's the surface area. We found the area of each surface, of each face of that rectangular prism. If you did not try that one on your own, or if you tried it on your own and maybe didn't get it right, here's another problem. Even if you did it right, you can still get this other practice in. Let's try and find the surface area of this rectangular prism. All right, so 9 meters, 5 meters, and 6 meters. Color coded if you need to. Pause and try and work this one on your own. Okay, so if you color coded, 9 meters here, 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 here. All of those are 9. 5 meters are going to be all the up and down lines, all the vertical lines, all those parallel lines right there are going to be 5. And then 6 meters will be all the remaining one. Okay, so find the faces. 6 faces. Top and bottom. Front and back. Left side and right side. The top here and the bottom, we have pink and blue. So 6 times 9, 54 and 54. The front, 5 and 9, so 45 and 45 for the back. The side, green and blue, so 5 and 6, 30 and 30. When you add those up, you get a surface area of 258 meters squared. All right, so hopefully you understand how to find the surface area of a rectangular prism. We're going to do the surface area of one more, finding the surface area of a triangular prism. So let's add that those problems to this. Finding the area of a surface area of a triangular prism. Now the difference is between the triangular prism and the rectangular prism. Remember, the rectangular prism has a rectangle as its base. Triangular prism has a triangle of its base. You still find the area of all faces. Now in a triangular prism, you have how many faces? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 faces. Okay, so we have one less face to find the area of. We have these 2 matching faces, but they're triangles. Remember how to find the area of a triangle? Base times height divided by 2. So don't forget that. Base times height divided by 2, base times height divided by 2, and then base times height, and base times height. All right, so let's practice it and see. Let's find the area of this triangular prism here. Try and make it look a little bit better for you all. Okay, triangular prism here, 5 centimeters, 8 centimeters, 12 centimeters, and then this one's 13 centimeters. Okay, so let's use our colors. Let's color code this. Any line that's like this, parallel to this, is 12. Guess what? We only have those 2. Okay. Any line that's like this is 8. Guess what? We only have those 2. Any line that's up and down will be 5. Guess what? We only have those 2. And any line that's slanted like this is 13. And guess what? I forgot one. That one that I forgot would be what color? Yeah, it would be green. It would match the 8. So there are 3 of those. Sorry, I messed up on that. Did that on purpose. Just make sure you're paying attention. Okay, so let's find the area of these faces. Let's write down on a triangular prism, we have 5 faces. So we have our front and our back, those 2 triangles. So front and back. And put that those are triangles. Then I have the bottom. I have a right side here. And then I'm going to call this one the top. I have those 5 faces. So the triangle on the front here, I'm looking for my base and the height and dividing by 2. So base times height divided by 2. 12 times 5 divided by 2. 12 times 5 divided by 2. 60 divided by 2 is 30. Now the back is going to match 12 and 5. So the back will also be 30. The bottom will be 12 times 8. 12 times 8 will give me 96. And then the right side here will be 8 and 5, 40. And the top will be 13 times 8. I'm going to work that out. 13 times 8. 24, 104. Okay, so hopefully you saw working that all out there, writing all those sides. If I add all of those sides up together, I get 300. So my surface area is 300 centimeters squared. Writing out your sides and finding the area of each face, writing out all your faces. Okay, why don't you all go ahead and try and find the surface area of this triangular prism. Draw it on your paper, it will help. So you can go over all those colors. 4 yards, 5 yards, 4 yards here as well, and 3 yards. And again, this is a triangular prism. It has 2 matching bases of the triangles. So find the surface area of this triangular prism. Pause and work it. Okay, so if you had 5 faces, you have this front triangle here. So front triangle, you have that back triangle. You have the bottom. You have that left side. And then you have this big slanted top. Okay, so here you said I called it, I mean, you can see that I said right side just because it was over here. This time it's left side because it's over there. All right, so my front triangle, base times height divided by 2. Base times height divided by 2. So 3 times 4 divided by 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6. My back triangle is going to be the same, 6. The bottom is 4 times 4, 16. The left side is 3 times 4, 12. The top is 5 times 4, 20. This time I didn't color code it. You could be in the routine that maybe you don't need to do that anymore. You can see it. If you still color code it, that's great too. Add all this up. When you add it all up, you get 60 yards squared. Okay, we're going to look at another one, a triangular prism. This time it's not going to be, these were a right triangle, right? They had that base and that height. This time it's more like a tint, like if you were to go camping, and so it's not the right angle. So let's look at one that's like that. If you had this, all right, if this slanted is 10 meters, this slanted is 16 meters, this is 9 meters, 10 meters, and then this, I'm going to do it in a different color just so it doesn't get confusing right here. This height is 6 meters. Okay, so again, you still have your front and your back triangles. You are going to have your left side, your right side, and then your bottom. Okay, so front and back triangles. Base times height divided by 2. So 6 times 16 divided by 2 will give you 48. Back triangle is the same. Front triangle and back triangle are both the same, 48. I have my left side, my right side, and my bottom. Left side, 10 times 9 would give me 90. Right side, 10 times 9 will give me 90. The bottom, 16 times 9. Work it out. 16 times 9. 9 times 6 is 54. 9 times 1 is 9 plus 5 is 14. So 144. Now I add all those together and I get 420 meters squared. So these were like the other 3 that we just did, except you had to use a different measurement for that height because triangle is base times height divided by 2, so you're always looking for that right angle. Okay, one other thing that we're going to look at is if you find the surface area of a cube. Now, what's interesting about a cube that you know is that all sides are equal. So if I have a cube here, that means, well, if I were to draw it correctly, that means that every single side, every single face is the same. So how many faces do I have in a cube? You should say 6. So I have 6 equal faces, a top, a bottom, a front, a back, and a left and a right side, but they're all the same. So 6 same faces. So if this was 4 meters, 4 meters, and 4 meters, what's the area of one face? 16, right? So one face is 16 meters squared. Well, just multiply that times 6 of the matching faces since they all match. So 16 times 6, 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 1 is 6 plus 3 is 9. So it's 96 meters squared. Now you could list it out. Your front would be 16, your back would be 16, your top would be 16, your bottom would be 16, your left side would be 16, your right side would be 16, and add it all up and you'll get 96. But this only works if it's a cube, because every side is equal. All the faces would give you the same. All right, guys, so make sure that you turn in your notes as a PDF on Schoology and you complete that homework check. On Schoology as well, Mr. Chine and I are on the Schoology conference if you have any questions. Thank you.